Hey everybody, this is your daily dose of all things royal. Welcome back, my gorgeous good-looking friends. So this photo has been making the rounds and causing a big stir on social media. Putting aside that Meghan looks really rough here, the big stir is really about Meghan's rabid fan base who went ahead and trolled this woman and started to attack her online. So Meghan's lunatic fan base, whom she's never denounced and have attacked not only Samantha Markle but also the royal family, began to start posting hateful messages accusing her of doctoring this photo to make her look worse than she already did look, and really went after this woman. Now, I didn't see any of the messages on Instagram. The person that did post this photo had turned the comments off. Apparently, the harassment and bullying became so bad that she felt the need she had to defend and justify this photo. So she went on Instagram and said this.
Morning. I just wanted to jump on and say, you guys, the trolls are trolling the internet, okay? The amount of messages that I received, not kind messages, by the way, and I had to turn off my commenting on my most recent post, is like insane. Okay. Like, I don't understand what these people have to do with their lives or don't have to do with their lives, that they just go around like commenting ridiculous things on people's like pictures and post. Like, it's wild, you guys. I met Meghan Markle last week. I totally fangirled out. I absolutely loved her in Suits. And like, that's where my fandom comes from. I don't bother with the royal family. I don't keep up to date with it. I don't know.
So I'm not sure how the Sugars found this woman, as none of us had a clue on who this person was. But I suspect Meghan had something to do with it in leaking that information to this group of people who attacked her because after Meghan saw this very unflattering photo, she needed a narrative to explain why she looked so awful. Unfortunately, this woman, Brianna, had been markled and didn't even know it. Here she is defending a woman where it is documented on numerous occasions of supporting these vile human beings, and not once have Harry and Meghan denounced the harm they've caused so many people online, despite preaching about stopping online hate. From what I can tell, Brianna does not have a large social media footprint.
Got a message from a girl telling me that people were tearing Meghan Markle and the photo to shreds on X. Appreciate her for throwing that out there. I signed up for a Twitter account. I do not tweet. I do not Twitter. I just don't. I feel like it has now become the new like trolling, cyberbullying bullshit website. So I don't even mess with it. And she wasn't wrong. I received messages from people saying how effed up it was that I would post that picture of her, how effed up it was that I would doctor a picture of her, that I'm being paid by the Brits, that I had somebody reach out to me about doing an interview to see how it would be meeting her, how my time was meeting her. Y'all need to let a fucking woman live, okay? I deleted the picture because I felt so bad that people made me feel so bad.
You see, that's what bullies do, and look who their master is. She's the queen of bullies. You see, that's what bullies do, and look who their master is. She's the queen of bullies. So don't take it personal, you're not that special.
Okay, so just a few things I want to address about the photo. It has been removed, but people have already taken it and plastered it over the whole fucking internet, which shame on you guys, honestly.
Well, shame on you for posting it and making it public. She has to take some responsibility for that. If she didn't want the photo out there or to be subjected to any type of criticism, then maybe she shouldn't have posted it for the world to see. Now, there are many theories on how this photo came to be. Many people suspect that Meghan had paid this fan to show up and get a photo to improve her brand. And I agree. I think those assumptions are justified because we all know and have evidence that Meghan has paid people in the past to do this for her. So when you look at this photo, the optics sure looks like as if Meghan knew who this person was. And in the midst of this guy speaking, she rudely goes over to give her this over-the-top animated, "Oh, it's so good to see you, or whatever she's screaming out loud, so all attention goes on her. We have seen on many occasions that Megan just does not read the room and makes it all about her, while totally ignoring what is going on in her environment, which this is a perfect example. Here, the guy is right in the background talking, and here she is with her back to him. You cannot say that this is, oh, we're making up lies and conspiracy. This is in front of you before your eyes.
Somebody had mentioned that how dare her, not how dare her show up and not have manicured nails. They were very manicured. She actually had very nice nails, very nice red nail polish. I quite enjoyed it.
On one hand, it is easy to assume that Megan hired this woman to clap back because we all know that Megan has to have a comeback for every little criticism that is made about her. We've seen that. We saw that in Finding Freedom. We saw that in Spare. We saw that in the Netflix mockumentary. So having someone specifically talk about the nails when it really wasn't necessary does give people the impression that she is connected to Meghan Markle.
How fake she was? No, she was not fake. She was so sincere, so genuine, truly honored and happy to be there. You guys want to say she's been schooled in that or poised for that, whatever, but that was not my encounter with her at all. And unless you've had an encounter with her or was a different encounter, then you really have no platform to speak on.
So she's making this judgment on one meeting with Megan, literally for a few minutes, to take these photos and to have stupid chit chat, small talk. Okay? She's carrying on as if she knows Meghan Markle so well. And the rest of us don't have the right to talk about her. Well, when we are close to Samantha Markle and we see what Meghan did to her family and hear firsthand from her family, as well as hearing and seeing the lies that came directly out of her mouth, you don't need to know Meghan personally to make that assessment or come to that conclusion that she's fake as a $3 bill. I think it's a fair assessment for any of us who have critical thinking skills to come to the conclusion that Meghan cannot be trusted. She is a wolf in sheep's clothing. So if this woman felt, oh, Meghan is so authentic and she was not fake like everybody else said, well, do you have anything else to compare it to if you only met her one time?
I am a fan. Like I said, so for the people who said I wasn't a real fan.
So here's my assessment. I believe her, and I'm going to show you why. So we have to take into consideration that she is part of this me generation that has been sucked into this mindless garbage in what we call suits, as well as all the other superficial things that Meghan Markle represents. And it's quite sad that this generation, as we've clearly seen with Harry and Meghan, cannot take criticism and feel the need to always have to clap back and use their voice to defend themselves. So right after this video was released, of course people were talking about it. And as a result of people commenting and talking about it, this person then felt the need to have to clap back again by issuing another explanation on Instagram by writing, well, clapping back at the folks isn't what the people wanted. I thought IG was extra. Reddit went hard. I don't need any 15 minutes of any fame because with friends like these, who needs enemies? It's actually you all that are perpetuating this so-called 15 minutes. And I would have to agree with her on this one because what we're seeing happen now is this engagement loop where she is going purposely looking at various social media platforms now to see what is being said just purely out of curiosity. And if she's seeing what's on Twitter and it's being referenced over in Reddit, of course she's going to go over to Reddit and start reading what's over there. And if she's reading things about Chris Sanchez, Meghan's bodyguard, being her father, then I can understand why she felt the need to have to defend herself. And she continues on to say, I have zero clue about being Markle, actually had to Google it, what derangers are, who the hell sugars are, etc. No, Chris Sanchez is not my father. Sanchez is my married name, and I don't have a relationship with my bio dad, but from the feels of it, none of you have parents that are proud of you. And to be honest, I think that part was unnecessary, too much information being shared there. Like, I don't care if you have a relationship with your father. She then continues on to say, as for the claims of being paid, I don't need to shame someone to get a bill paid. I'm fully capable and a working woman who can pay her own bills. Well, my husband pays them, but I do work, LOL. I'm not hating on her for that because at least she admits it. Unlike Megan, who has ridden off the backs of so many men to get where she is, haven't once acknowledged the fact that they were the ones that helped her get to where she is right now. So good for her. I'm glad that she is secure and taken care of. But, there are other people that got to pay bills and they got to do what they got to do. I truly enjoyed my experience, and I'm sorry you didn't. But then again, it wasn't you, so don't need you to. And trust me, you haven't ruined it. I'm still reeling. It is truly unfortunate that the majority missed the whole meaning of the post, which was to celebrate the grand opening of something state of the art for our service members. If this woman really was hired by Megan and paid by Megan, the Sugars would not have attacked her. I believe this woman was a genuine fan. Hard to believe that they exist, but they do. This woman was there on behalf of the Navy SEALs, and here is how I know. On her LinkedIn profile, she does work for an entity that supports the Navy SEALs. So I don't doubt that this opening that she was at is part of that network. So she just happened to be there, and I could honestly see her be like, "Oh, Rachel Zane." And here Megan's like, "Oh, you remember me, blah, blah, blah." And that's exactly what transpired. Nothing more. And Brianna was invited to that event, not because of Megan, but because she supports the Navy SEALs. Here she is at a gala supporting the Navy SEALs in 2016 with her, I believe now husband, whose last name happens to be Sanchez. So after understanding Brianna's involvement with the Navy SEALs, it's not a far stretch to think that the Navy SEAL Foundation was the one who invited her to this event, and that this meeting with Megan was an authentic one. Unsuspecting to Brianna, she doesn't know that Megan has these fans who Megan instructs to go after and bully, which is what they did to Samantha Markle. So I wouldn't put it past Megan to have one or two of her attack dogs go after this woman in order to bully her to take down the photo. It's no secret that Megan has her own social media accounts that she used to troll people. So who's to say that she wasn't one of the people bullying this woman online, forcing her to get that photo taken down? This woman is so narcissistic and vain about her image and brand that that photo shined a light on how ugly this woman is. So I wouldn't put it past her to use that tactic and go and attack her behind the keyboard anonymously. See, what Brianna doesn't understand is that behind the facade of this sweet and caring individual is someone who is ruthless and malicious. And the things that she has done to the royal family, as well as her own family, should be evidence enough for these people to wake up. Sadly, this woman who doesn't follow her, was a fan of Meghan, sort of got celebrity starstruck and wanted a photo. What she didn't realize was the wave of hatred that this woman was going to unleash onto her as a result of her fan base going after her and possibly even her herself. That's just my take on the whole thing. I think this woman needs to do a little more research in understanding why there's so much pushback against anything that Meghan does, and understand that if she is supporting the Navy SEALs, treasonous Meghan and her traitor husband are trying to undermine those efforts by attacking our freedoms. That should be something that this woman should educate herself on. The Sussex squad are the ones that are promoting hate. What she's failing to understand is what we're fighting for is calling out the bad behavior. And from an American perspective, and why I do what I do, is because of defending our freedoms. And what these two have been doing in undermining our Constitution has to be exposed. And it's why I dedicate the time to do it with purpose. So if she feels that that's a waste of time, then her herself is a hypocrite in supporting the Navy SEALs. So I'm going to give Brianna the benefit of the doubt and believe her in saying that she didn't know Meghan Markle. She was a fan of Suits, and she doesn't know any of the backstory of the manipulation, the lies, and the damage that she has caused, because in the United States, as I said, if you're not paying attention to it, you would have no idea that there's a whole backstory to her bad behavior. She is only seeing what has been pushed out as propaganda, and of course, this is how they brainwash you into thinking a certain narrative. Now, I think that this happening to Brianna, unfortunately becoming the sacrificial lamb, puts a spotlight on the Sussex squad again as being this targeted hate group going after and attacking people online, which then now amplifies Meghan and Harry's hypocrisy when they virtue signaling about trying to push policy and regulation to censor Americans. I don't see this as a good thing for Meghan because Samantha very well can use this evidence now of this group, which includes Meghan, of having a history of targeting people to not only harass them, dox them, bully them, and at times putting their physical safety in jeopardy, which I hope is not the case with Brianna. But it sounds like these folks had been pretty vicious towards her. And I would not put it past them to then be doing some crazy because this is the crazy that follow Meghan Markle. And it's my hope that Brianna does take the time to learn why there's so much division and why so many people speak out about Meghan Markle. You're going to find that she's not just the sweet, innocent person that is just living her life. You're going to find that she's doing things that's going to impact everyone here in the United States, and we need to shut it down. I think Brianna would change her tune if she understood that Meghan and Harry are behind backing and supporting this group that had been attacking her. What I could see happening next is that the Sussex propaganda machine is going to take advantage of this incident and spin it in their favor, such as this is why we need more policy and regulation because of the harm that it's causing people. Look at what these single purpose hate accounts, and I'm sure we're going to have some quotes in by Boozy and or maybe even Jack Royston might even write this story up, spinning this narrative, if not already, of this so-called online hate for Meghan Markle, in which I could see the Sussex propaganda start deflecting away from the Sussex squad because it makes Meghan look bad that this is a group that she and her husband support, and focusing it now on to the platform of Reddit and the platform of YouTube, and going back into the spiel, bringing up the Boozy Bot Sentinel report and how people are profiting off of hate. We know this. We've been there before. It will be interesting to see how this all plays out because I don't think it's over.
Okay, I'm actually just checking my Instagram today, this morning, to see what's going on. And of course, I took down the picture. People are now not happy that I took down the picture. They are going on my other pictures and commenting, and I'm actually going to share them with you guys. And then I'm going to delete those comments and block those people because you guys are fucking reaching. Okay, wow.
Yep, sounds like she got the Sussex squid treatment. Wouldn't expect anything less.
Truly shame on you, and I hope that you guys have children and your children have to look at you and the person you are being. And I hope you feel good about that.
Yeah, it is scary that some of these mental degenerates do have children, and you can only imagine what they're contributing to society. I don't need to elaborate on that, but we already know. Hopefully, Brianna can put this to rest right now and that people just leave her alone. I don't condone what is going on, and she's said her piece, let it be. We all know that tomorrow this will be old news and Meghan will have something else that she will shove her face into the media for that we're going to have to deal with. So, anyhow, this is not a good look for you, Sussex squad, and this only helps Samantha make her case. So keep doing what you're doing because you're all going to get found out eventually. But what do you guys think? Definitely leave your thoughts below. As always, I will be back with more content, but until then, please be safe, and I will talk to you later. Bye!
It was such a fraud.